Okay, and welcome back to Random Shitsters 21's fixing the Galaxy S2. This is part 2 in probably our 3 or 4 part video sequence. And what I'm going to do now is go back to where we left off, which was this. The 91 through 99% rubbing alcohol. I swear to God, if I get a comment on this video, like, is 70% gonna work? No, it's not going to work. It has to be 91 through 99%. I got mine at CVS Pharmacy. You can pick them up at CVS, Sears, Walmart, and I think Walgreens. Don't buy the 70%, because it'll fry your motherboard. So, what you're going to want to do is you're going to take that red solo cup that I mentioned, and you're going to fill it up to about here. As you can see, I've already used a little bit of this because, well, I use this for other things too. It's good for cleaning wounds. This is which is the actual use for it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to fill it up. And since there's actually an easier way of doing this, which is just unscrewing the cap and dumping it in there, that's what I'm going to do. So let's do that. There we go. We have it filled up to that margin that I mentioned earlier, which was about here, halfway up the red mark. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take some paper towels. You're going to make like a nice little area to be able to dry it off and whatnot, because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be soaking your motherboard actually in the rubbing alcohol. I know, that probably sounds a little bit crazy, like, oh, why are you putting something, an electronic especially, in a liquid? Well, what the rubbing alcohol does to the motherboard is that it clears all of the damage from the water from the motherboard and kind of cleanses it, because you're going to see a lot of not decaying, but you're going to see a lot of acidic base because of the electrodes in here. And which brings me to your cotton swabs, because after you dunk this, which I will get to in farther into the video, I've lost my train of thought. So, dunking the motherboard. There's really nothing to it. It's just taking the motherboard and simply dropping it into the solution. And, so here we go. That's the 91%. It actually works a lot better with 99%, but I only had 91 at my CVS pharmacy. So you want to make sure you dunk it. Make sure you get the entire thing covered, so even once you've gotten that side covered, you want to take it, you want to dunk the other side, dry off. And you might be wondering, well, what about the card slots and the charger ports? Well, they're fine. You have to understand, these are just components that are soldered on to the entire board itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it around one more time. Alright. What we're going to do is we're going to set down these paper towels here and dry off our hands. I actually have a cut on my finger there, which hurts like a bitch. So, I'm going to set those over there. You've been to a computer. Alright. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and dry this off as gently as possibly. simply going to just be folding the paper towels over it like so. Just apply a little bit of pressure, just enough to soak it up a little bit. Not enough to really do any static damage to it, because that would be very, very bad. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get up, and I know this sounds really weird, but you're going to want to get a hairdryer. I know, sounds a little weird, but what you're going to do is you're going to take this hairdryer, you're going to go into your bathroom. Or actually, I don't even have to go into my bathroom, because I have a plug over here. So, there's the charger for the camera. So we're going to plug in our hairdryer here. There we go. Okay. And what we're going to do is we are going to blow dry our motherboard for RS2. And you're going to be using cool air, not hot air. Hot air will damage the phone. So you're going to take your motherboard and you're just going to lightly, I know you probably can't hear me over the, so I'm going to try and talk a little bit louder, or if I'm drowning out the hairdryer. You're just going to lightly cool off the motherboard here. And yes, this is going to get very hot, so please do wash your fingers. You just want to really make sure you get this thing dry. Like, it needs to be bone dry. So you get all of the components here. Every little bit. There we are. After you have it pretty much dry, or actually you're going to want it completely dry, what you're going to do is you're going to bring back that rubbing alcohol from before, and you are going to take your cotton swabs and you are going to look about your motherboard for any sign of corrosion or anything else. I've already cleaned it pretty much. I was just doing a demonstration before, and I pretty much have this cleaned, but what I'm going to show you is on something I haven't cleaned, which is the back of this phone, which, as you can see here, all up in here, we have a lot of corrosion and acidic base. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our cotton swabs here and we're going to dip it in this alcohol base, and we are going to dab and swab these little bases of corrosion, and you really kind of want to rub it. Make sure you get all that white out of there. You heard me. So you're really just going to have to go around. What I'm doing now is I'm just dabbing, and I'm just going to make sure I get the entire area covered with the cleaning agent. We're approaching our 10-minute mark here, so I am going to stop this recording, and I'm going to start our part 3.